All right, guys, welcome back. Silent Wake 5 back again as promised with a particular demonstration for you today. I am showcasing the Yandoo, the $30 Yandoo screen that Brother Derrick uses in his apartment full-time 24/7, and all the videos that's covered on it, all the videos that I've covered on it in the past. We are validating that, in fact, you can get a stable image, a pleasant image with the Yandoo black side of the screen, and I'm using the Epson 5030 UB. So this is, I think this is around 24 to 2600 lumens, somewhere in that range. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the exact lumen count. Just to verify with you, I am in dynamic mode, right? It's the brightest mode that the projector has. I've never steered away from saying that when you use black, to use brighter modes is probably going to get you a much more vibrant image. More lumens on black, it definitely is beneficial. And that's what I would recommend in this certain scenario. But I have a 1080p, very well made, very well reviewed Epson 5030 here in dynamic mode. Everything is basically, it's all in default mode. I can reset it, but it's going to shift it back into THX mode, but it will make sure that everything is reset. THX mode is going to be significantly darker because THX standards are meant for dark room, and even in dark rooms they can be a little bit too dark for a lot of people. But again, the THX reference standards are from the early 90s and whatnot, and not really on par with what we do today. So we're going to put it in dynamic mode for this video demonstration, just to show you that everything is in fact in default mode. We're not manipulating any adjustments or anything like that. We have the Yandoo clipped onto the standard sample piece here that I've been using in my videos for a long while now. And we're showing you that, in fact, with all the windows on, now it's not a super bright day out there. We got some wind and rain and stuff, but I got the light on above, and I also have the lights on in the room and the window open in the back. So you can see that I have as much light as I could possibly pump into here that I would commonly use in the space. So we're not overdoing it, we're not underdoing it. I'm utilizing pretty much everything that I have to offer in this space, and I'm still getting a very watchable, usable image on the Yandoo screen. We will go ahead and switch to another demonstration here for you, just to switch things up a little bit. Let's go ahead and look for something else. Why don't we do the birds, just to switch things up a little bit. You can see the image quality is acceptable, especially at this size. Bigger sizes, I would assume that you would need more lumens to have a similar visual effect. The more lumens you have on a bigger screen, especially when you go darker, I don't care if it's a dark gray or a charcoal or a black or whatever, the darker you go, the more lumens that you're going to want to have to give you that pop, to really give you that image presence. Otherwise, lower lumens is going to get lost on a darker surface really, really quickly. So that'd be the only disclaimer I have against dark screens in general. It's just the way that it is. It's a preference thing. So let's go ahead and skip the survey. We'll go ahead and look at these birds here. I'll kind of get close up to the screen here so you kind of see the quality up close as well as far away. You see I got everything clipped on there, and of course it's just folded in half and then clipped onto the surface here. But you can see for yourself, and we're actually right up underneath this light, and it doesn't seem to be affecting the screen too much. Just to give you a little point of reference here, right? So Kenneth Bird, why don't you buy the $30 Yandoo and put it up against your stuff? Now, Brother Derrick just recently did a video where he went head-to-head with a screen that was painted by one of your coveted top-tier customers, Hector Raw, and that was sent to Brother Derrick to use for demonstrations. So I'm not going to do the same thing that Brother Derrick just did. Go to Brother Derrick's channel and check those videos out so you can see a comparison for yourself between the Yandoo black side and Kenneth Bird's products. I'm showing you, as I had promised, that I would do the Yandoo screen with either the JVC or the Epson in this space, and I'm delivering on that promise. So I'll go ahead and come back to the back of the room here, so you come back a little further. You see that there is nothing really changing image-wise. Again, watchable, usable. Again, this is a lamp-based projector. I'm guessing that with laser, maybe things are going to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more punchy. You don't have the diminishing lifespan on a laser projector that you do on lamps. Lamps tend to dim considerably even within the first 100 hours. So this is about as bright as I'm going to be able to get with the new bulb that I have in the projector. After 100 hours, I'm going to start dipping on that brightness quite a bit. Even though Epson projectors are pretty efficient with their bulbs, still, a lamp is a lamp. Laser is just different. So you'll probably have a little bit better quality, a little bit better punch out of a laser projector rather than a lamp. So now you have another video to reference against Kenneth Bird to go hand in hand with what we see on Brother Derrick's channel. $30 Yandoo screen. And again, I don't care what you use. You use whatever you want to use. You buy whatever you want to buy. This is simply an opinion. When I say that you are better off with something like the Yandoo, which cost you $30, and if this is not your thing, if this black is not your thing, guess what? You got another side that you can use in a more traditional space, and it's going to look fantastic under traditional environment for projection. It's going to look fantastic. I know that for a fact because I've seen it, I've used it, I know what it looks like. It looks great, right? That would be my preference, but my preference isn't for everybody. And this preference isn't for everybody. The fact is that the Yandoo is uniquely different because, just by happenstance, it gives you both options to try out and use at your discretion as the customer. And it only cost you $30. And I think this $30 is a good starting point, especially for new people stepping into two-piece projection. They can find out what they like, what they need, and where they want to go with their setup as time progresses. This is a great starting point. For $30, you're really not losing a whole lot, and I think it holds a lot of value when you compare it to other screen paints, and especially black screen paints coming from Kenneth Bird at the ILEG, blah, 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 Black Series Edition, Crystal Edge Technology, Digital One Crystal. I don't care what name he throws out there. I don't care where he's been and where he's going, but the man is taking advantage of people at the end of the day, as he would say, and charging a ridiculous price for mixed together paints. Now, if he was charging $30 for the shit, I wouldn't care. Go ahead. $30 is $30. You piss $30. You know what I mean? This is $30, and it's actually really comparable, and in some cases better than Kenneth Bird's product, which costs 5 times as much. This is literally 4 or 5 times cheaper than what Kenneth Bird sells, and I'm able to achieve more or less the same results. So what's a better deal? What holds a better value? What has more options, right? Again, this isn't your flavor, turn it around, use the light side. It actually gives you options, where a paint, like from Kenneth Bird, cannot give you options. Especially if you're not sure, you're just not fluent enough, not educated enough in the space, and with screens in particular. Again, this is a great starting point to experiment and try and see what you like and what your preference is, because your preference is going to be different from my preference, right? So experiment, try it. This only cost you $30. Something from Kenneth Bird, you think you want black, you think you want to go that route, then you pay $200, $250, $300 for a paint that's going to smear, that's going to be stinky, that's going to have streaks in it and everything else. You're going to feel like you got kicked in the balls at the end of the day dealing with that man and that product at that price. $30 is much easier to handle, and you have options. The Yandoo hands down, is a far better option and a great alternative to Kenneth Bird's screen paint products, period. End of story. Guys, take care. God bless. We'll catch you next time.